It is the Riot Podcast. This is the Monday, July 17th edition. Yesterday, we missed this because we don't podcast on the weekends, but yesterday was National Ice Cream Day.
Big day. Big day.
Yeah. And I saw some interesting ice cream hot takes going out over the weekend in honor of the occasion, including some people saying that, basically throwing some shade at the idea that you would go on an ice cream date. Some people not for the ice cream date.
I've been on many ice cream dates.
When do you do an ice cream date? First date? Is it acceptable?
First date, yeah. You can obviously do an ice cream date anywhere along the line after that.
Yeah, of course.
But the question would be, is it an appropriate first date? I think it is.
You think so?
I think it's a really innocent first date.
Uh-huh.
So maybe if you're going to take a girl out that you think might just you might want to ease her into it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe if she was kind of questioning going out with you to begin with, maybe an ice cream date. Something real simple, an easy way to get him out. You don't want to have to do dinner and then a walk and all these different things. Just an ice cream day. It's casual. If nothing else, you can chomp it down in 5 minutes and be out of there.
Uh-huh. That's
it's
true.
Real low key.
But if not, then you just kind of stroll around.
Exactly. You chill.
Okay, here's a big question. Let's say you choose to go on an ice cream date, first date.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get a cone?
No chance.
You don't go with a cone?
For me personally, which this fits right into my ice cream game anyway.
Uh-huh.
I'm a milkshake guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
I'm getting a milkshake every time, no matter what. So therefore, on an ice cream date, what is there that's more perfect to get than a milkshake?
Uh-huh.
You don't have to worry about spooning it out. You can just casually take sips while they're doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't ever have a mouthful while they're talking, and then you're expected to speak, and you have chocolate all over your face. Also, likelihood of you getting chocolate on your face, way lower with a milkshake. So if you're going to do an ice cream date, milkshake.
That's very wise.
Good advice. There you go.
Yeah.
So, shocker.
Because the one thing I was thinking, right, I know on first dates, particularly, you're not supposed to choose something too messy. Like always, the example given is you don't want to go to an Italian restaurant because then there could be sauce on the face, on the clothes. There's slurping noises. Now, so I thought with ice cream, if you get ice cream cone, it can get on your nose.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm worried about chocolate at the corners.
You don't want
of
that.
My mouth. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
And you don't want to put that pressure on the other person either, that they could wind up like that. So they need to order wisely.
Yep.
But that's on them. But there's plenty of options. You go with a milkshake at an ice cream place, you should be fine. Even if you go with a bowl of ice cream, I think you should be okay. You can probably eat that.
I wouldn't cone it.
As an adult. Over the age of 12, you should be able to eat a bowl of ice cream without making a mess. 3
ice cream dates I've been on.
Uh-huh.
And 2 of them were first dates. One of them was a further along date. And they all went in different directions.
Okay.
The one of them, I'll do the 2 first dates first.
Yeah.
So one of the first dates, the girl, I thought it was going great. We had just a casual date, hung out, ended up going all right. And then we didn't go on a second date, whatever. Didn't end up working out.
But it's not the ice cream's fault.
But it wasn't the ice cream date was good.
It was all you.
It was clearly just me.
Yeah.
But the date was good. Second time, the girl ordered coffee.
At an ice cream place?
No, coffee ice cream.
Oh, okay.
So that was an immediate, I'm not so sure about
You
her.
said, I'm not paying for this.
I'm not so sure about all that jazz. I bring you here to my favorite place. I bring you to Grader's, and you're going to order coffee? You're going to spit in my face like that? Disrespect my favorite ice cream place with a coffee choice? Wasn't my favorite.
I don't think that's that bad.
The third one, we get ice cream, and this wasn't a first date.
Okay,
but we go to get ice cream. She doesn't go in.
What do you mean?
She waits she tells me what she wants.
Yeah, black cherry, please.
And then she stays in the car.
No,
and there's no drive-through at this place. I have to walk inside by myself and go and order 2 different things. Walk back out to the car. Needless to say, that one didn't work out.
Yeah, that
was wild.
Who did it not work out for?
Me. I was not happy about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't end it right then or anything, but it was signs for what was to come of this isn't going to be a good match.
Yeah.
If you won't even go inside and scoop the ice cream with me, come on now. What are we doing here?
That does seem
This feels really special with you sitting in the car. I'm glad I could bring you this ice cream.
What a beautiful moment.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so much for me.
I get that one. I get it.
But yeah, ice cream dates, they're a plus.
Yeah, no.
Even though the 3 that I've went on have all been controversial.
Yeah, they haven't worked out, but you just keep doing them in one day, surely enough.
Because you'll leave happy every time. Either way, you got ice cream. Even if the date went terrible.
That's right.
And it's easy.
And it's not that expensive.
And you can be like, I mean, there's automatic conversation starters too.
Yeah.
How's your ice cream? Is that your favorite flavor? What were you thinking about picking? I mean, just all the things.
Yeah.
Should have went cone. I didn't think about it.
You could even parlay it into like something about being a kid, like tell me about your childhood, ice cream. They just go together,
I mean, there's so many easy conversation
just easy
starters.
avenues.
If nothing else, you just suck on that milkshake. And you get out of there as soon as you can.
Yeah.
You can finish it real quick.
There you go. Make it happen. I'll tell you tomorrow on the show, talking of dating, I've got a website you would not expect, I don't think, people to be using to date. And we'll talk about that tomorrow.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get on it.
It's the riot.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Do you remember going back? We did have a birthday lunch for you. We actually staff.
It was
lunch.
like a brunch.
Yeah, we all went out to a place that it's a pancake house. Is unfamiliar. I don't think anybody had ever been there except for you.
Yeah.
And so, did you catch that Moneybags? Chris, he's our engineer. We call him Moneybags. When we got in, we all were seated at the table. And then as soon as we all got seated, he gets back up and starts wandering around the restaurant. Did you notice that?
I did see him doing that.
He said that he was doing that because he'd never been there before. So he was looking at people's plates to help him decide what to eat.
And it wasn't like it was like a quick little thing. It wasn't like it was one table.
No.
It was a couple.
And here's what really confused me. Couldn't he not have done that while we were walking to our table?
That would have been a lot stealthier.
Uh-huh.
Not that I think anybody would have noticed.
Yeah, I bet you people outside of our table probably didn't notice him.
They did not notice
what he was doing.
But unless he made... There's a time when you make too many turns.
Yeah.
I wonder how many turns he made. If he made one big loop, nobody would have noticed. If he was zigzagging, that's when he could start to become a little bit more suspicious.
Yeah, and he could have been. People could have questioned, "Are you lost? Are you looking for the bathroom?" type thing.
And how close was he hovering?
And then he has to answer that question. No, I'm just looking at people's food.
I'm just wandering.
Yeah,
I'm just enjoying the scenery. I wonder how close he was getting. Was he hovering?
Was he smelling?
Could they feel him? Could they feel his breath?
Uh-huh.
Because that's a big thing, too.
And my next question was, he was looking at people's food. What was he, the menu doesn't have pictures on it.
There was no pictures on the menu.
How is he going to know what they ordered?
You can tell.
You don't know?
You can just look and be like, okay, pancakes. I would do it like this. Pancakes look good. French toast, maybe not. Bacon looks good. Sausage, maybe not.
Got it.
So I think you're looking for particular items.
Yeah.
Omelets, they look good as a whole,
That's sensible.
But yeah, either way, it was a scene. Thankfully, we didn't get kicked out.
Only Moneybags.
Yeah, exactly.
Only Moneybags.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
Isaiah, we live in a world that is just becoming, supposedly, anyways, more and more tolerant. You're not supposed to question really anybody's decisions in life.
That is true. That's what they say.
You're not supposed to question them. You're not supposed to shame them. Everybody is supposed to just be able to do whatever they want.
Whatever the heck they want, no matter what it is.
Unless they're a smoker.
That's different, I guess.
Smokers are the one people that you can look down upon, apparently, question their life choices, shame them, scold them, because they're not supposed to be smoking.
But we all do things that we're not supposed to be doing.
I know, but we all can get away with it.
But apparently they can't.
Not smokers.
Got it.
Not smokers.
I'm up with that now.
Particularly in Hong Kong, where their health minister is now, their secretary for health, is urging the public to stare down and give dirty looks to people who smoke in public, particularly, obviously, in restricted areas where they're not supposed to be.
Well, that just seems silly.
It's silly, but I mean, what the alternative is, these are restricted areas. Like, there's places where you're not supposed to smoke. And I guess that's okay. But there's places you're not supposed to smoke. If somebody starts smoking, what are you supposed to do? Call the police?
No.
That seems a little aggressive, but you can't just let people get away with doing stuff. So it's up to you as a law-abiding citizen in Hong Kong to give dirty looks and stare at people who are smoking when they're not supposed to be, to try to get them to change their ways and stop.
They say it's like when they're at like a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, I mean, that doesn't even like really happen here. I mean, at least I don't really ever see that happen. Are they having like an issue with that in Hong Kong? Is that why they're saying this?
I think so. I think they're a little, behind the times isn't right, but we've more effectively squashed smoking in public areas in the United States, been a little more strict on that than I think maybe in Hong Kong. So they're trying to change that. And so I guess it is an issue. And I mean, we all know secondhand smoke, it's no good, right? You can't have that.
Yeah, but I feel like maybe instead of doing the whole like stare down effect, I feel they could just like, I don't know, like have like a smoking area outside.
You could do that
on a patio. If they're really having so many issues with that, because I don't think the whole stare down thing, I mean, is that seriously going to be what we're doing? That's our plan of action, the stare down. I feel like that's kind of crazy.
Do you think it would, if somebody started staring down, if the public, if we had our Surgeon General instruct the public to start staring at you when you do something that you're not supposed, they don't want you to do, you think eventually you would probably stop?
If everybody was staring at me, I would feel real awkward.
Yeah.
If I knew I was doing something wrong, it would make me not want to do it.
But what if, see, for smokers, I mean, I think generally smokers know, right? Like it's not good for you, but they're still doing it. And with that knowledge, so do you think they might be a little defiant when people start staring at them? You're like, you think you can stop me from doing this?
Well, that's the other thing I would
I'm
say.
also giving myself cancer doing this. Your stares, you think that's going to be what changes my ways?
Like, it's not like I don't care if you smoke or not. If you want to smoke, that's your choice. You're an adult.
Yeah.
Like, if that's what you want to do, it's not illegal. Like, what are you going to say? That you're going to say, I'm not supposed to be doing this? There's tons of things that we all do every day that are unhealthy for us.
Yeah.
So who are you to say what somebody else can or cannot do? But if you're doing it in a place that's not allowed, then that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
But in general, if you want to smoke, you can smoke cigarettes. That's your thing. Whatever. That's fine. It's your choice.
Just be courteous.
Just don't do it in a place that's not, which we all know.
Yeah.
Which in the U.S. we all know.
We all know. Hong Kong must be different.
They haven't figured it out. So maybe, you know what? Maybe that's on the old man in charge. Maybe figure out your country. I don't know what to tell you. If people are smoking in restaurants, seems like a whole nation thing. We figured it out over here. I haven't seen someone do that in years.
We've established a pretty, a fairly decent template, I'd say, in the United States for them to follow.
Yeah, I feel
mean,
like
different
here,
countries.
That's not even an issue.
Yeah, but look to us as the United States. That's one thing we did kind of figure out.
Their big plan is the stare down. So we'll see how that plays out.
Maybe
for
it'll work.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
This is our Monday tradition. It is the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't over the weekend in movie theaters. And I'll tell you, no surprise, who's coming in at number one? Mission Impossible.
Just as they should.
Well, deservedly so. Mission Impossible, just over this past weekend, it made about $56 million in North America, but you add in, because it had like an early release where you could go, typically movies come out on Friday, but they did it, Mission Impossible, a little different, so it's already made $80 million.
Good work.
They say that's solid, but maybe not quite as good as they hoped.
I feel that's pretty on par for Mission Impossible.
Yeah. I don't understand. To me, I don't know. Like, obviously, I haven't seen the new Mission Impossible, but I don't understand why Top Gun last year, right? Was it last year?
It was last summer, yeah.
Last summer, Top Gun was such a big hit. And I've seen the most recent Mission Impossible before this one versus Top Gun. And the Mission Impossibles are more fun to me. I like them more than Top Gun.
Yeah, but there's so many of them that they've lost their... If this was like the first Mission Impossible in like 15, 20 years, then everyone would have went crazy.
That could be it.
But since we're at Mission Impossible 7, and everyone's like outdid, overdone.
Mission Impossible isn't quite as patriotic as Top Gun is, that's for sure. What about number 2? So much buzz around this movie, Sound of Freedom. A lot of good, some bad, but most of the people that I've heard that have gone and seen it have... I don't enjoy it isn't the right word because of the subject matter. It's about like sex trafficking, but they said it's good.
It's a good movie.
That came in at number 2 with another $27 million. Pretty impressive. Insidious the Red Door was number 3.
Get that out of here.
That you hate the Insidious movies.
I'm scared
the
of scary
Insidii,
movies.
I call them.
They've ruined my childhood just about. Insidious is one of the big ones.
That made another 13 million. Then Indiana Jones still hanging tough with 12 million. Did you watch any movies over the weekend? What have you watched of late?
Over the weekend, I started a new American Horror Story.
Okay.
A new season of that.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched the original Thor. I watched the original Iron Man.
Uh-huh.
And I started watching Rings of Power.
Oh, man.
So I had a big movie watching weekend for
Wild
me.
birthday weekend for you.
For me, it was a lot of TV watching.
Yeah.
Which isn't usual.
That's usually I'm the one that watches more. For me, it was just one movie this weekend, and it is the movie that I maybe tried at The Hague for saying this, but it's the best Pixar movie there is, and that movie is WALL-E.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah.
WALL-E?
People will stone me to death for saying it, but I can only say the truth, that WALL-E is the best Pixar movie.
But I don't know if it's that good.
It's that good.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.
Now, I said something a moment ago that seems to have struck a chord. I kind of, sometimes you just know that something's going to strike a chord, and I just knew when I said that WALL-E is the best Pixar movie. And actually, not only has it struck a chord with some people who are going anti, but all of the pro WALL-E people are coming out of the woodwork as well at 8772 Radio U. David agreeing, saying that WALL-E is the best. He says he loves WALL-E. Jolynn says that WALL-E is absolutely the best Pixar movie ever. She saw it 5 times in theaters and feels no shame.
Questionable choices here. We have a lot of questionable choices.
Uh-huh.
And, for me, I saw it. Good movie.
Uh-huh.
Best ever Pixar movie? Now, that's crazy talk.
What's crazier, saying WALL-E is the best Pixar movie, or Joshua, who texted in saying Ratatouille is the best Pixar movie?
Ratatouille that's almost crazier.
That's a tough choice. I
think Ratatouille is crazier than WALL-E, but I think WALL-E is absolutely absurd as well. I can come up with 4 movies off the top of my head.
You want to do this?
Above.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
Top 5, bottom 3 Pixar movies.
I can do that.
You don't have to do order, but just do 5 best, 3 worst.
Ooh, 5 best. Okay. For my 5 best,
Uh-huh.
I'll put in right off the rip. Toy Story 1.
Of course. I'm with you.
I'll toss Toy Story 2 right in there,
Definitely.
too.
Better than the first.
I'll go ahead and put Cars in there. The OG Cars.
Cars?
Come on. Don't even play right now. We're not questioning Cars, are we?
I'm questioning Cars. It's not
With
my
Lightning
top 5.
McQueen and Mater? That was such a...
You're just listing the characters.
That's all you
not
need to
really
do.
an argument.
You could just put Mater in the movie alone, and that would be a top 5 Pixar movie.
That was the pitch for some of the follow-ups, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Just put Mater in the movie alone.
Because he was such a good character.
Yeah.
He's a top 5 Pixar character alone, so how is that going to be a top 5 movie?
Kids love Mater.
And then we'll put in Incredibles.
Yeah, I was thinking Incredibles belongs.
And then I'll put the next 2. It's either going to be Inside Out for me.
Inside Out was in for me.
Or, this is a personal favorite, might be a little bit biased, A Bug's Life. I know that one's questionable. That's just a personal favorite of mine.
I don't think you're going to get a lot of agreement there, but
that's okay. I love A Bug's Life.
Now, my top 5, obviously WALL-E, right? And Toy Story 1 and 2. You didn't put Toy Story 3 in your top 5.
I didn't touch Toy Story 3, no.
Yeah, it wouldn't be in my top 5
it's
either.
There. It's close.
I feel like I'm in the minority on that. And then Incredibles, Inside Out, is that 5? That's 5. If I had to pick...
So you tossed Cars out. We had the same list. You just replaced
I believe
WALL-E
so.
and Cars.
I believe
You're
that
not
is
putting
correct.
WALL-E over Cars.
Okay, what's your bottom 3?
I've got Cars 3.
Okay.
Elemental. Haven't seen it. It's in theaters right now, but I don't need to see it to know.
Uh-huh.
And the other one, haven't seen either. Yeah, I think you've seen this movie.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen it, but I'm just tossing it in there because it sounds silly.
Yeah.
And that's The Good Dinosaur.
No, I like The Good Dinosaur.
Unfortunately, it's
not
my bottom 3.
My bottom
3.
And I feel bad about this, but my bottom 3 would be Elemental, have seen it, didn't like it. Luca.
Oh, that could be bottom 3
real
for me,
bad.
too.
They didn't even put that on theaters.
Yeah, that's
and
rough.
Turning Red, I did not appreciate Turning
I don't even
Red.
know what Turning Red is.
I didn't realize that was a Pixar movie, but I hated that movie. So I feel bad because those are like the new ones. That's the new school. But I did really like, this is newer, Soul. And I didn't think Lightyear was bad. It's not good enough for top.
I thought Soul was good too.
I liked Soul a lot. And Onward was good.
Onward I saw as well. It's good as well.
Yeah. They've lost a step, but that doesn't mean all the new movies suck. Just a lot of them.
It just means WALL-E hasn't made the top 5 yet.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on RadioU.
Congratulations are in order for United Airlines pilots. They've just landed a big deal. Their union is now getting the option to vote, and I believe that they probably will vote yes on this. I mean, I sure would. For a 40% pay increase over the next 4 years.
40%?
Yeah.
That's aggressive. That's a big pay increase.
Yeah.
How did they weasel their way into that one?
Well, they've been, the unions and the United Airlines pilot union that represents their pilots has been negotiating with United Airlines for quite some time now. In fact, they received an offer going back all the way to November that they turned down. And it seems that they were wise to turn that down because it did not include this kind of pay level increase. How it works is, depending on what kind of plane you fly for United, you get an instant raise of at least 13.8%. And then that's as soon as this deal goes through. And then following that, over the next 4 years, your pay is going to go up at minimum 34.5%, up to 40.2%. Again, depending on the planes you fly and things of that nature, different factors. But either way, you get, if you stick around with United for the next 4 years, at least a 34% pay increase.
Dang, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And so I took the time while you were explaining that to go ahead and just Google how long is aviation school.
Okay.
Because it seems like an important thing. You said it takes 3 to 4 years to become a pilot.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Should we do it?
I think it might be worth it. You keep on talking about how there's none flying right now.
Oh, yeah.
There's not nearly enough. That's all we've heard.
I don't know if they're connected, but I just keep hearing horror stories specifically regarding United, where the problem always typically seems to be they don't have pilots and so flights are just getting canceled and sitting on the runway and stuff like that, waiting for somebody to come fly them.
So maybe they would even pay for our school because they need them so bad.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? That's what I'm thinking. And so maybe that's our next move, our next career move. Could be to go back and be a pilot because I feel like that would be a very cool job.
What kind of skills do you think you need to be a pilot?
Focus, a steady hand, a lot of, under pressure, a good performer.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Quick decision maker, you think?
Yeah, probably quick decision maker, maybe good vision.
Okay.
Seems actually good vision. Meh.
I mean,
You're ballparking everything.
Yeah, right. What do you need to see in the sky?
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're going to run into anything.
Yeah.
You're going to run into a cloud, I guess. If you can't see that, then you probably shouldn't be driving.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I could be cut out for the part that being a pilot, are you allowed to just sit in the cockpit and not talk to the people as they greet the people as they enter the plane?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can do that?
No, actually, I think you have to greet everybody as they get on.
Is that supposed to build confidence or something in you?
Yeah, I think so. What about there's also your co-pilot that's with you?
Yeah.
I want to just be the co-pilot.
That sounds even easier, right?
Sounds way easier. I don't want to be a pilot. I want to be a co-pilot.
I think we should start looking into it. You think we could do that part-time?
Probably.
Or
no.
Take aviation school at night?
Not for United.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
If you struggle to find love on Tinder, I've got a reason why.
Everybody wants an excuse.
Yep. It's not your fault.
Of course it's not.
I'll tell you why.
So your mom tells you too.
It's because about half of people on Tinder are actually not looking for love at all.
What are they looking for?
Entertainment. So we're not even talking about I'm not looking for love. I'm not looking for dates. I'm not looking for something casual. I'm looking just to be entertained. According to a new survey of about 1,300 Tinder users. But that's not the worst part. People are on there just looking for entertainment, just to see, I guess, to peruse profiles, maybe chat in an entertaining way. But get this, 65% of Tinder users, at least in this survey, report being in a relationship or married.
What?
65%.
65%? That seems like a high number.
This is a survey of Tinder users conducted by Stanford Medicine.
That's way high.
65%.
No chance.
I didn't even think you drank anything and you just did a spit take.
Yeah, 65% is way high.
You don't believe it?
Shot.
You don't believe it?
I don't believe it. There's no way. 65%?
That's 2/3 of people on Tinder, according to, if this survey is accurate, of the Tinder user base as a whole. 65% of people using it are actually already in a relationship.
Not a shot, Stanford Medicine.
You don't believe it?
I don't believe it.
What
65% is way high.
What percentage do you think?
I mean, if you were trying to convince me of the study, there's no way you're convincing me more than 35%. Because I think, not that I don't think that, like, there are, like, people on Tinder that are in relationships, but 65% of people, there's a lot of people on Tinder, right? There's a ton of people on Tinder. So if you're telling me 65% are in a relationship, that means the other half of their, like, couple hasn't figured out that they're on Tinder. Because whether if it's a game or whatever it is, if that was your girlfriend, you wouldn't want her to be on there.
Unless
you would hate that.
Unless, since people are saying they're doing it for entertainment, maybe they're doing it together as couples.
No shot.
Because I guess I know.
You start doing that with your girlfriend. All of a sudden, when she starts trotting around with another guy, you're going to be so surprised.
I know it'd be wrong, but apparently people do it. And to me, I think it'd be real entertaining to hop on Tinder, make a fake profile, and then start browsing and just because people post like what percentage of profiles on Tinder do you think are ridiculous?
A bunch of them.
I mean, I don't know. You probably don't peruse the guys, but I bet you the guys.
I'm sure the guys are ridiculous.
Yeah. Whatever percentage of the women's profiles are ridiculous, the percentage of profiles of men have to be even worse.
Double it.
Forget about the messages you'd get, which I'm sure a lot of would be horrible, but some would be would just be entertaining.
They would be entertaining.
And all that said, the idea for me of making a fake profile and just to laugh at people, I get why 50% of people that use Tinder are using it for that purpose, it seems. And it's tempting to me, but I don't want people to start saying, oh, I saw Hudson on Tinder.
I saw Hudson on the dating apps. And all of a sudden, let me say this much. If your girlfriend asks you, can I make a Tinder for fun? Brother, you better say no. Because even if it is for fun, she starts seeing the other fruits that are around there. They start seeming real tasty, so I don't want you to have to go through that.
If she asks that, you better up your A game.
You better get her off of there as soon as you can. No, absolutely not.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
What is a skill that becomes less impressive as you get older?
Pretty much any skill that you had before the age of 18, I think, would be a skill that would not seem very impressive as an adult.
See, that's how you're thinking about it. Stuff that you can do like when you learn to do it as a kid, it's impressive.
Yeah.
Is what you're thinking?
That's what came to mind at first.
See, because I was also thinking of things that as you get older, everybody just knows how to do. Not as in stuff that you would learn as an adult, but just like if an old person can do it, you're like, well, that's just what old people do. You know what I mean?
Like cooking.
Yeah, maybe cooking.
That could be one. Like you would just expect an adult to be able to cook.
Yeah.
Like when you ask your mother or father to make you a meal, you're not surprised when it's good.
Yeah.
You're like,
but
that
that's
makes
not
sense.
like a kid thing.
What do you mean a kid thing?
But because the other thing you could think is like stuff that only would be impressive to children.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I think like if someone like my age is a really good cook, I think it's impressive.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I make my own food every day. Am I especially a good cook? No, I'm okay. I make edible things for myself. But at the same time, if you're like a stellar chef, I'm like, that's pretty impressive. For my age, if you're 45 years old and a stellar chef, I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Adds up.
That's a good one. The other one that jumped to mind for me on this before we start taking texts was typing.
Typing, you're right.
Yeah, because if you're 60 and you know how to type, I feel like everybody 60 probably knows how to type unless they're like a mechanic. But if you're 20 and you know how to type, That's actually impressive to me. You know
really?
what I mean?
I almost think it's opposite.
If you're 15 and you know how to type, that's real. Like,
I think it's really impressive. Like if an older person knows how to type really well, because like why wouldn't I know how to type? I grew up on like computers. If you're 50 years old, you learned to type on a computer when you were like 30.
Everybody had to take typing classes though.
Yeah, but I feel like now it's just so
and now
mainstream.
it's all touch screens.
It's like if you know how to do computer skills now.
15.
Like if you're 20 years old and you know how to use social media, holy moly.
Yeah.
If you have that on your resume, so does everybody else.
I don't know. All right, well, let's see what's... we've got a few that we thought of initially, but what do you think? Skills that get less impressive as you get older. 8772-RadioU.
Find more Riot content online. riot.radiou.com.
What are some skills that get less impressive as you get older? We're getting some good texts in here. Some of the ideas that we already came up with. Cooking was one of them. I thought typing, although Isaiah disagrees, so does Max. I think that, just to go back to the typing, I just feel like everybody older than me knows how to type, and I feel like less and less people my age and younger are going to know how to type because of touch screens. That's just how I view that. But other good texts coming in, like Brad, who says how much you can drink.
Yeah, as you get older, that just means you might be an alcoholic, right?
Yeah.
That's what that means, right?
I mean, yeah, but I guess when I picture it, though, I picture like somebody college age, right? I don't know if I expect them, but if you can drink a lot in college, wow, so can a lot of people. But if you're like, again, I just picture that, like if you're 60, 70, and you can just go all night, that is kind of actually impressive in a way.
I think the difference is you're not going to be bragging about it. Like, who are you going to tell about it? Your grandkids?
Yeah,
hey, son, this is my 14th. If you were wondering, I guess I'm 10 deep, buddy.
I don't know if it gets less impressive, but it gets more sad.
Yeah.
It gets more sad, for sure. But that was, what I was thinking was seeing some of these texts is that it feels like a lot of stuff is kind of like on a bell curve. You know what I mean? In other words, where if it's impressive when you're a child, then as you like going through adult years, not impressive. And then again gets impressive when you get old. Like,
that's true.
Like hanging upside down on monkey bars or something.
Yep.
Like
all of a sudden you're back.
When you're 7, that's impressive. 23, not as much.
Cool.
70,
cool again.
Cool again. You got any ideas?
Yeah, I got a couple. The first one I thought of, how about this one? Looking old for your age.
That's right.
When you're like young, there's nothing cooler. Like when you're in high school, there's nothing cooler than looking old. When you're 18, there's nothing cooler than looking old.
Yeah.
And then once you get to like 25, it's no longer cool. It now is a bad thing.
Yeah.
You're at 50, it's a bad thing. 60, bad thing. There's no bell curve there.
Definitely not. Yeah, that gets continually drops off a cliff as you continue to get older.
How about this one? This one is cracking me up. How about the guitar? Like when you're like 13 years old, if you can like riff anything, like it's impressive. Like you're like that dude.
Yeah.
But if you're like 30 and you're trying to play the guitar, you better be like God level. If you don't want to
bust it out.
You better, because if you're not God level at 30 playing the guitar, then you're just like annoying. That's how it is. Like that's how it goes. You better be really good or in the process of taking classes or something if you're gonna whip your guitar out.
Yeah.
But at 13 years old, if you could get 3 notes in a row, you were like that dude.
Yeah.
You were him.
How about, this is a good one from Alex. Being able to use the potty all by yourself.
Well, come on. We're not doing that.
A bell curve.
Bell curve?
Yeah.
That's never. Over the age of 20, that's never. That's 20. What am I talking about? Over the age of like 5, that's never gets impressive again.
What about, there's just so many simple ones that when you're like a little tiny little child.
When you're just a little boy?
Yeah, when you can, I can count. People will be impressed if you're 2 years old and you can count. But after 2, as you get older, people have become less and less impressed that you can count.
Well, yes, obviously.
Yeah,
that's a good one. We want to do spelling next? Do you want to touch on that or no?
A little too obvious.
How about this one? How about any kind of tongue trick? When you were like in 3rd grade, if you could like make a cauliflower with your tongue, that was cool. You know the only one that's so cool is if you can tie a knot with your tongue.
The cherry.
That's still cool. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
If you're 40 years old and you can do that, I still think that's cool.
That actually kind of feels like a grandma type of
does.
trick.
But if you can do if you can rotate your tongue or do something weird, once you're past like 10, that's not cool. But if you can tie that cherry in a knot, I don't care how old you are. That's a cool trick.
Yeah, I like this. This is a good one we came up with here. I don't have any more though.
Well, then I think we should end the segment.
I guess we better wrap it up.
I bet you better.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. Radio U.
Now, yesterday was a holiday, National Ice Cream Day. Did you celebrate?
I did, actually.
You had ice cream?
I had a banana split yesterday.
Where'd you get that?
How you like me now? It's a place called Wits is where I got it from.
Oh, good choice.
Real good.
They do. They do a good job
baby.
over there. Yeah.
It was grand.
I did not have ice cream yesterday, but I was surprised to see this. I've got to be in the minority here of not having ice cream. Apparently, the average American eats 12 pounds worth of ice cream per year.
I don't know what that calculates out to.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure that makes sense.
A pound a month?
Oh, it does? A pound?
Uh-huh.
Seems like a lot.
How many scoops you think it takes to make up a pound of ice cream?
It's got to be like one regular quart, right? Don't you think that's a pound?
Like the tiny one, like Ben and Jerry's size?
No, I'm thinking that's
You're
a pint.
thinking like a tub.
I'm thinking a tub, yeah, like a quart.
Like Breyer's size.
Yeah, the typical average thing that you would buy at Kroger.
I mean, I definitely don't eat one of those per month. So I know that
But
I'm
some
on the
people
low
eat
end.
two of them.
Some people, yeah. Some people eat two a week.
Exactly.
But I have here a map, and we were talking about this a little bit before we went on air, of the map of what each state's favorite ice cream is based off of like web data, online shopping data. And you were getting a little fired up about it.
I think it's ridiculous. This list is blasphemous. This is complete blasphemy. This is crazy.
So try to convey to me and everyone else what your issue is with this map.
This map is insane because it pretty much lists the number one flavor for each state, right?
Uh-huh, right. Actually lists the top five. If you
top
wanna,
five, but the actual map, when I look at this map, there's so much purple on it. It's almost half purple. And what does purple stand for? Rocky Road. As
and
if
you have a problem with that?
Rocky Road is not even close to a top five flavor. Do people even know what's in it? It's almonds and marshmallows. In what world is that a top five ice cream flavor?
It sounds horrible to me because of the marshmallows involved.
Like, I know I've had Rocky Road. Solid flavor. Would I ever buy it for myself? No. Would I ever order it? No. Because there's so many better options. Rocky Road is not a top five ice cream, let alone it's like the number 2 most popular ice cream in the country.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Behind chocolate. That's it. How is that possible?
I don't know how that... I mean, I don't know. I don't know why there's so much love for Rocky Road, where you take a clearly far superior flavor, cookie dough, and that has, if I'm reading this right, 2 states, 3 have cookie dough as their favorite?
Yep.
That's not
enough.
Not enough. Not nearly enough. Chocolate dominates, of course. Rocky Road second. What other thing is surprising to me is not a single state in this fine union here that we have has vanilla as the top favorite. And I guess favorite is wrong, but most popular.
Yeah, it's tough, though.
How is vanilla not one of the... I mean, because you not only do a lot of people actually just like vanilla, but you use vanilla for other stuff. You use it for milkshakes.
Yeah, but it'd be so hard.
You don't use Rocky Road for milkshakes.
It'd be so tough to list vanilla as your favorite. I feel like that would make you feel plain. If they gave me a survey and I put down vanilla, then I feel like I'm plain, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be a weird... It's a weird flavor to be your favorite.
It's not, but this isn't a survey. It's what people buy.
Yeah, it seems like it's a weird favorite. Like, if you were going to go buy ice cream, too, if you went to, like, any kind of, like, ice cream shop, not like going to Kroger, you're not getting vanilla. You're getting some sort of cool flavor.
If you go to Wits, unless you're a child, and you know who eats a lot of ice cream?
Children.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy all of this.
What's a real shame is there's no mint chocolate chip in the top 5. In any state, no state has mint chocolate chip in the top 5, which I think is ridiculous.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
National Ice Cream Day was yesterday, and we have a list here that shows the top 5 most popular ice cream flavors in each state. And it not only has Isaiah fired up, it has a lot of people in the text fired up as well. We had Regina texting in who's saying that cookie dough is amazing, and the top 2 flavors for her are cookie dough and mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip.
So
There's one vote.
Agreeing with you that it's egregious that mint chocolate chip not really fairly represented on this map. Apparently, people just aren't buying it
Ridiculous.
the same way they're buying Rocky Road.
Rocky Road, yet again, trash is what we covered in the last break.
Aurora also with you saying that mint chocolate chip is the best. Max with you. You didn't call Rocky Road garbage.
I said it's okay.
But you said it's okay.
I said it's all right, but it's not a top 5 flavor.
Max said it looks the same when you eat it as it does when you know. Sorry, Max. Sorry to we had our Texas correspondent, D, text in saying that for Texas, the top flavor has to be Bluebell banana pudding. Isaiah, what do the facts say?
Facts say it's not. Unfortunately, I bet it is better than all these flavors, though, because they have Rocky Road at number 1, chocolate at number 2, cookies and cream at 3, which isn't represented that much
either. That's not a number
this.
1. I would think that would be a number 1 for other states.
See,
I didn't see it on the map.
Cookies and cream is also being misrepresented here, but it's on Texas's list. Then they have cookie dough, the Neapolitan, but yet again, the Bluebell banana pudding. It sounds fantastic. It sounds so much better than all these options.
You know what we haven't given any time to is the weird states. The states that have coffee as their favorite. Am
That's
I seeing
ridiculous.
that right? That is New Hampshire. That has coffee. I like coffee ice cream. That's your favorite. That's the most popular ice cream in your state. And it looks like here for Massachusetts, they have cherry.
No, they don't.
They do.
Cherry?
In Massachusetts, they love the cherry
How
ice
about
cream.
this one? This is sitting at number 4, which isn't a big deal, but it's so ridiculous. North Dakota, number 4, green tea. I don't know what that means. What does that even mean to you?
In the less populous states, the numbers just get skewed because there could be one person that buys 12 pints of green tea every week. And since there's so few people there, it skews the average. I think that has to be what that is.
Montana, number 3, coconut.
Oh, what are you doing?
Who lives there?
What are you doing?
What is going on? If you have any Montana listeners, speak for yourself.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I'm looking for any other weird ones that are coming across. I mean, yet again, mint chocolate chip doesn't make a single top 5, which for me is atrocious.
There's, for Montana, and what is that? Wyoming and South Dakota, they all have Neapolitan as the number 1. That just shows you're indecisive.
Neapolitan is, yet again, that's wild to be in the top 5.
Make up your mind.
When we were children, when I was a little kid, I felt like we bought Neapolitan sometimes because I had 2 other brothers. But realistically, you don't need vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
Uh-oh. Billy texting in. Rocky Road's my favorite.
No! Billy, what in the world? What is wrong with you guys?
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.